been a bit windy and wet today, but hey, never mind. Hello, everybody. I am now live on my YouTube channel and Facebook page. So hopefully it will all work out. So how is everyone today? Hopefully I've got everything sorted so that we can get on. I just need to put my chat up so that I don't miss anybody, because please do let me know if you are there and are watching. Lots of things have happened this week. We had some free shipping, which is lovely. I've just realised my calendar's just broken. Let me just put that back together again. I think it's because I've tried to put too many things in there. Let me leave it with just one, what it should have in it. That should be better. Yeah, I think I put too much in there. I'll move those somewhere else. No, it's not standing up. What have I done to it? I've just ruined it. I don't know what I've done. Managed to squish it in a strange way. Never mind, it'll be fine. Yeah, so we had some free shipping last week. I do wish they'd give us a bit more notice, but hopefully people did make the most of that. I had got one or two things, but I didn't actually need anything this time, which was fine. And I have just realised I've left my coffee at the other side of the room. So I'm going to just turn my heated thing on so that it can heat. Let me just go and get it. Everyone needs their coffee. I do need a coffee. I've had such a busy morning. I'm taking my mum places, so that's better. I need my coffee now. So how is everybody? Do let me know if you're watching and where you're from. Today, let me just swap actually to the desk view, because I want to show you what I'm going to use today. Yeah, here we go. The coffee. I'll just move that. And try and remember to drink it as well. That always helps. But I wanted to use today this particular stamp set here. If I hold it a bit closer, you can see it. It's from the annual catalogue, and it's called Along These Lines. And I saw it, and if I'm really honest, I fell in love with the dog, which is why I decided I really needed to have this set. Because I think the dog is gorgeous, and we're going to use him today. But it's got lots of others. It's got I think it's a dolphin, two dolphins, a tiger, a heart, a dove, a bicycle, a cake, a rose. And I just can see so many uses for this particular set. Now, obviously, it doesn't have any sentiments with it, so you will need to get sentiments. And today I'm going to use, for two of the cards I'm going to make, I'm going to use the linked together sentiments here. I might also use the one from Charming Day there. We shall see. But as I said, I want to use these particular things. I'm going to use the tiger first, so we're going to get him out. Now, if you notice, the stamps on this set a lot of them have got lines, straight lines under them. So you want those to be as straight as possible. So a little tip for picking that up is when you get your stamp out from the box, just drop it on your work surface, and then is that going to be wide enough? I perhaps need to. Is that going to? Oh no, I probably need a bigger block to start with. Let me get a bigger block from behind the computer there. So once it's down on the surface, you can pick it up on your block like that, and you know that your line is going to be straight because it was dropped. If you try and put it on a block, sometimes that becomes a bit difficult, and you find that it isn't a straight line. So any stamp that you need to be straight, some of the stamps that have got the centers cut out can be a little bit difficult to make sure they keep their shape. So dropping them on the work surface upside down and then picking them up from the work surface with your block. Just a little tip for you today. So I'm going to use the tiger first, and which is not the set I've got out here first. So I'm using a longitudinal card, so a long ways card rather than the usual portrait card. So I have cut my base cardstock in half on the short side. So it's 10.5 centimeters this way and 29 point whatever it is for this, 29.6, I think, isn't it, for the sheet of A4. So it's the whole sheet of A4 cut on the short side at 10.5 centimeters. If you are using US cardstock, then that's 11 inches wide, and you want to cut it at 4.25. So then we're going to score it in the middle, which I have already done. So 14.8 with centimeters, or 5.5 for US cardstock, 5.5 inches. And then we're going to fold it, making sure those edges line up properly. Get my bone folder and then give it a jolly good press there to form our card base. Now, we could make this even more simple than we're going to, because I'm going to do something more, because you know me, I just can't do real basic simple. But you could stamp your tiger in the corner here, put just any sort of sentiment you want up at the top, and that could be your card. But I wanted to focus on how we can colour the tiger. So you could get your blends out, you could get your Stampin' Right markers out, and that's absolutely fine. But I want to show you a different way of colouring things. And I'm actually going to just jazz the card up a little bit. So I'm not going to stamp direct onto there. I'm actually going to have a strip of coloured card. So this is 5.5 centimetres wide by 14.8 long. If you're working in inches, you want it to be 2.25 wide by 5.5 long. And then a piece of basic white, which is cut slightly smaller. It's cut at 5 by 14.8. For inches, you want 2 by 14.8 to get the same size. So I'm actually going to stamp on this piece, and I'm going to just use Memento to stamp. My calendar's broken and fallen over again. I must mend that properly after we're finished. Fiddle with it again now. It has been made for a long time, that calendar, so it's not too surprising. And I realise it still says March on it, so I don't change the month. I use it because it stores a pen and some sticky notes, and that's why I use it. Anyway, I must change the month as well. So I'm going to stamp my tiger just in sort of along on the right-hand side here, just like that. Now, if I wanted, I'm not going to because I don't actually want that look. But if you needed to extend the line and you wanted the tiger to extend, there is actually a stamp that just has a line. So you could do that if you wanted. I'm not going to, and I'll show you why. Because colouring my tiger here, you can see he's a little bit of they are just line drawings, and they're just squiggly lines. So he hasn't got a proper back. He hasn't got a proper side here. His head's all squiggly. He's obviously a tiger. He's beautiful. I love the person who's designed this. Really think they're very artistic to do that. Because they're gorgeous, but it does make it a little bit difficult to colour. So I'm going to give you a little way to colour it, and I'm going to use my little blending brushes. These are the small blending brushes, and I'm going to use 2 inks. So I've got a light coloured peach pie, and I've got the darker timid tiger to match my cardstock, because I thought it's really suitable for a tiger, isn't it? So I'm going to use that. I'm going to start off with the lighter colour, because if you remember, we can use the same blending brush if we're going from light to dark, but we can't if we're going from dark to light. So I'm just going to pick up the colour on my blending brush, and then I'm going to just colour around here. And I'm not going to be too careful about it because it doesn't actually matter, but I'm just going to gently put some colour on and spread it out a little bit. So I've got a sort of pale sort of halo around my tiger, with the darker colour in the middle. Okay, just like that. I haven't got anything under this. I haven't bothered. You could. I've got a little bit of a mark on that from not tapping it off before I started, but I think it's going to be all right. So there is my lighter colour, and then I'm just going to go over the tiger himself with Timid Tiger, the slightly darker colour. So again, just picking it up, and because it's a darker colour, I can use the same blending brush. So just making him a little bit darker in the middle here. Go around over his paws a bit. So he's got a halo of peach pie, and then he is coloured in my Timid Tiger. I'm just blending that into the other colour so you can't see any rough edges. You can see a few little ink marks, but so what do you think? Do you like him like that? I do. And he's sort of sitting on a nice branch. I could have used a green outside, I suppose, for a jungle. You can just play around with it and give your character, your lined character, some sort of background. But I just liked the effect on that. And as I said, you could do that direct onto the card front. I've done it on the strip because I'm going to have this extra strip here. So I'm going to stick those together just with some Tombow. And these are the same length, so I can put the card right up to the edge there. Make sure I've got the same gap, top and bottom, which is about there. And then make sure it's lined up for the other side as well. There we go. And there is my strip, which we're now going to stick across here. I'm going to stick a sentiment on. Which sentiment should we have? So we've got wishing you a happy day. Yeah, wishing you a lifetime of love. Oh, all sorts. Right, let's have a look. Let's go with, I want the wishing you, so I'll put that on a smaller block. Where's my, I've lost my little block. Oh, there it is. So again, this I want to make sure it is straight. So I might just do my dropping it on here. Ooh, it's dropping on its edge, not its bottom. There we go. So get my wishing you there. And I think we'll go with a happy day. Now our decision has to be, do I do wishing you a happy day, or do I do wishing you a happy day, which I think I might do. Now, to keep my colour scheme going, I'm going to use Timid Tiger to stamp the words. So I think I'm going to have wishing you a happy day. What do you think? Anybody got any comments or want it differently? Let me know if you do. Oh, that white is just a little bit longer. I need to trim that off. Ah, my Tombow is running out, of course. Why does it always run out on my lives? Oh dear. Right, scissors. Just need to trim that white, which is obviously I didn't cut quite to the right size. Trim that a little bit off. And then we're going to pop this on here. So I want to leave enough room for happy day at the bottom. So I'm going to have this slightly nearer the top. Make sure it's straight. I could actually use the lines on my, yeah, that is straight enough. Using the lines on my pad here to make sure it's nice and lined up. So we are going to have wishing you, hopefully the right way up here. And a happy day down here. There we go. Just going to clean that up a bit. There we go. Now, there's various other ways you can jazz this up. As I said, you could start really simply and just have the tiger stamped on here, put the colour around it, and then stamp your sentiment without any layers. I've done the layers. If you wanted, you could also tie some twine around there. I did think about that. Got a mark on there. I'm just going to rub that off. If I can find my rubber. Where's my rubber gone? Why can you never find anything when you want it? Nah, gone. Where are you, rubber? How I can lose anything when I've got all of these things laid out on here. It is gone. I'll have to find the rubber later. I'll just rub that little mark off. But you could tie some twine around here if you wanted. I did think about that. Might do that on the second one, actually, to show you what that looks like. We can stick some gems on there if we wanted. I'll probably put some on at the end just to sort of finish it off. But I wanted to give you the idea that you could use this with any of these animals from the Along These Lines set and do a very similar thing. So I'm going to make a second one. I'll just put that one aside for a moment. This time with my favourite dog. So I'll just get rid of these colours here because we don't want to use those same colours. So I've got for my dog, I've got some browns because dogs are nearly always brown. So same thing with the base, exactly the same size. And I've cut the colour cardstock and the white cardstock the same. But this time, it's my finger that's got something dirty on it because I've just managed to get it on this card as well. Honestly. More to rub off in the end. Right. Really must find that rubber. It's got to be around, honestly. This desk is such a mess. It's probably under the computer or something. Anyway, never mind. We'll find it later. So I've cut the same size pieces here of the cardstock and the basic white, and I'm going to do much the same thing with the dog as I did with the tiger. So we'll take Tiger off because we don't need him anymore, and swap for the dog. That one almost certainly is now too big, so we'll have the dog on this one. There. Don't need the big one. So we're going to do much the same thing with the dog. We're going to stamp him on here, and then we're going to colour him with blending brushes. With my clean blending brush, just put that one to one side. I'll wash it in a minute. So easy to wash these because you just wash them in soapy water and they are fine again. Just leave them to dry. Okay. Let us have a go. Do let me know if you're watching, where you're from and what's going on in your own lives at the moment. Move him along a bit. I think we'll have him here. There we go. So several things I thought of. I thought I could have dogs facing each other, use my silicone sheet to do reverse stamping. I must show you that as a technique one day. Not today though. And I'm going to do the same thing with the colour here. So I'm using crumb cake, which matches the base, and then I've got a slightly darker pecan pie for my sentiment and for something other. Now, where's my scrap of paper? Because I really do need to do my stamp it off first to make sure there's no bits no sort of brush strokes, things to see. I just want colour. So I'm just going to come in with the colour now. Takes a little while blending, but it's such a fun thing to do, and it's so relaxing. So there is my little dog with some crumb cake. Now that will dry lighter, and same with the tiger, because it looks a bit dark on the camera. It won't be, believe me. It'll be fine. And then I'm going to use my pecan pie. So again, I'm going to dark, so I can use the same blending brush. Dab that off, and then just on the dog himself, we're going to just highlight him in the pecan pie. So he's got his halo of crumb cake and the centre of pecan pie. So again, he looks a little bit dark. The light's bad today. It's very, very dark. That looks as if it's completely covered the dog. It hasn't. How interesting. It looks odd on the thing. It'll look fine when it's dried. So that is my coloured dog with that. It does look as though it's on the screen. It looks like it's just a very dark blob. It's very different in real life is all I can say. Mind you, my sheet, this is a light purple and that looks dark on the screen. Oh, how odd. Anyway, never mind. We're not going to worry. So I need where did I put my twine? I thought I got that out as well. Let me go and find some more twine. Just give me just a second. Should get my new one out. This is the packs of Neutrals basic twine here. So it's got the crumb cakey one. And this isn't going to be my tip for putting the twine on, which is do it before you stick this down. And what I would do is just on the back, wherever you want the twine to cross over, just use a bit of some tear and tape. I've got quite a thick tear and tape here, which is nice. So just check I've got the right end. So I'm going to put that down there, and then I can lift that off. Oh, come here, bin, too far away. And then I'm going to leave a nice long end because I want to tie it in the end. I want to tie it in some sort of knot. And then we're just going to do it this way, so I'm not doing it around the long end. Wind it round a few times. Leave my long end there. There we go. And then, now is that, probably check that round once more. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so now I can just tie my knot or my bow. Fiddly, fiddly. Always a problem doing these things on cameras. And I left a nice long end because I knew that would happen. It's gone far too big, that bow. That's okay. Because I can pull it, just pull the ends to get it the size I want it, which is about that. And then, there we go. Then I can just trim these ends off like that. I'm just going to spread those bits out a little bit, which I can do by just moving them on the tape on the back. They do stick down, which is the whole point. They're supposed to stick down, but I can move them around a bit and just spread them out a little bit like that. That looks better. Spread it out at the bottom as well. There we go. So can you see what I'm doing here? I'm just easing them round to the position I actually want them in. So I want these to be spread out a little bit. There, happy with that. So now we can stick that down again like before. So I'm going to stick this one down onto its, running out again. Now, if you wanted, you could use dimensionals as well. That's another option. I decided to use it flat. I'm very aware at the moment of postage costs, which over here are just ridiculous. I don't know if it's better in other countries, but certainly for here, really, our postage costs are dire. And then just to make sure that bow stays where I want it to go, I'm going to use a little glue dot just underneath where my knot is. Take the top off. Then I can press my bow down, and it also means I can have my tails of my bow pointing the way I want them to be. They're not going to keep moving around. Just pull that through again a bit there. There we go. So again, I'm going to stick this on the card, and again I'm going to stamp above and below with my greeting. Oh dear, come on out. Please just be enough for today. I'll get you a new one out, promise. Okay. So again, I'm having it slightly nearer the top than the bottom. A good tip as well is don't actually stick this right in the center of the card. Always have either the top or the bottom bigger, slightly bigger. It just looks wrong when it's exactly in the middle. So it is worth just moving that around a little bit. And then we'll use the same stamps because I've got them out. So we'll use the wishing you a happy day again. So we'll have wishing you at the top. And again, I'm using the dark colour from my colouring in there. A happy day. There. So wishing you a happy day, and a dog, which when he dries will look a lot lighter than he does on the picture. I still can't get over the fact that looks like just a horrible, nasty blob. And actually, it's quite a nice picture behind the dog. Anyway, hopefully by the end of this session, you'll be able to see those a bit dried. Can't get over that. Right, I'll leave that there because I want to show you another version of the same card, but it'll look very different. So again, I'm starting with a landscape base, which I've already cut and scored. But this time I'm making it simple again because I'm using a piece of DSP as a background. And I've chosen this sort of wavy background because it just made sense to do that, because I want to use the dolphin now. So let me just get the dolphin out and put my, did clean that? Yes, I did. Put my dog away. And I'm going to have the big dolphin and probably the small one as well. We'll probably have 2 dolphins, I think. So I'll pop him on that one. And the smaller one can go on a smaller block. There. But this time I'm not actually going to do any colouring on them because there's a lot of colour already in this background. This is actually a retired DSP, but it looked so much like waves that I really, which way up? I think we'll have it that way up. That I really wanted to use it. So apologies that I can't tell you what it is. It's not available now, but if you have any retired DSP, or if you've got a stamp, a wavy stamp, you could just stamp the background to make waves for your dolphin. Oh, this is really running out. Come on, just have enough for this. Okay, you're not going to. Right. Have I got another one here easily to hand? Yes, I do. Thank goodness. Okay. So which way up did I decide? I think I'm going to have it that way. So this is just giving you ideas with the same card layout, give you different ideas to do with things. This time I've used Night of Navy because it picks up one of the colours in the background there, and I've got the same wide strip that I'm going to stamp my dolphins on, but this time I'm going to stamp my sentiment onto the strip as well, and I'm going to, I think, use one of these for here. Either should I do a thanks? I think I'll do a thanks. We'll see what I decide when I've stamped this. What have I just done with my memento? Lost that as well. Oh, sitting in the corner that I can't see. There we go. So nobody's talking to me today. Have I got that in the right setting for chat? Oh, well. I hope this is of interest to people, even if I'm not getting anything back here. It's the one downside with YouTube and Facebook. We can't actually talk to one another. From September, I'm probably going to do more on Zoom, actually, because then we can actually talk to each other. You still don't need to show if you don't want to. You don't need to show anything, oh, what's that? Oh, it's one of my chat settings, but I think it's, yeah, I think it's there. Because on Zoom we can actually talk, so you don't need to show your face if you don't want to on Zoom, but more about that in my weekly emails. So I am going to have, let's have the dolphin sort of flying off this side, I think, this time. And we're going to have baby dolphin following on. Just here. And then I have room for my thanks sentiment, which I'm going to use actually. This is from the Charming Day stamps bundle, actually. I've got the bundle, but it's from the stamps. I really love that set. So much to do with that. I've just, well, you'll see in future posts and in some of the previous posts that I've already actually done quite a lot. So I should have probably used Night of Navy, but I haven't got my Night of Navy out, so it's just going to be memento for that. So again, you could make a separate box, a separate piece for the thank you. You can jazz it up by adding more ribbon or twine or whatever. But again, I just wanted to keep this simple. So that is all I'm going to do on here. I'm going to actually leave it just as the outline. Don't think we're going to put any colour on at all. Again, you can if you want. You can use your blends. Could use the blends just to show you, I suppose. But you get the idea. It can be as simple or as complicated as you want. What blends have I got easily available here? Is that, what's that one? Light Night of Navy, that might do. Let's just colour in some dolphins. I don't know what colour dolphins are, do you? So obviously there isn't, there isn't a line really to colour around, so you just have to sort of decide where your lines are going to go. I'm actually colouring more or less all of this. There, we'll colour Mum Dolphin as well. Perhaps we'll leave Mum Dolphin with an eye, and I think those are probably fins. I'm going to colour those. We'll leave them with a white chest anyway, and a white dot on the back. A lot of dolphins and whales and things have white dots on the back, don't they? So we'll do that, I think. Make these look more like flippers at the end there. There we go. So that gives you an idea of how you can just colour these outlines without worrying too much about going in or out of the lines. I've just managed to colour me. What a mess. Right, so there, I've just very simply, just with one colour, just coloured the dolphins in, and that's all I'm going to do on this one. So again, I'm going to stick them together, and there's another card done. So they're really, really quick and simple cards, these, but I just love this set. I think it's just so beautiful with these line drawings, and I do hope you're going to have a go with these and make some lovely cards with them, because I think they're so great. I've got another couple of ideas for these cards, which you'll see later this week in the blog post that's coming out later this week. Just a couple of other ideas I've got for the cake and for the where's my set gone? Oh dear heavens, moving everything around at the moment. There it is. For the cake and the rose, I've got some lovely ideas for those, so I will share those later in the week, but I wanted to show you the animal ones today and my ideas for how to use them. So let's finish this card off. So this can go anywhere, more or less in the middle, I think, but I'll probably put it in much the same place as it was before, sort of across with a slightly bigger bottom than a top. And there we have a third card. Again, you can add gems, you can add ribbon, you can add whatever you want. So I hope these have given you some ideas for how you can use these beautiful outline drawings and make some lovely cards. So I do hope that was useful to you. I hope you have a look at this set. I still think that just looks like a blob, and it isn't. I can see the dog really clearly here. Same with the tiger, actually. It looks quite dark on screen, but it is actually not. You can see the tiger beautifully. Goodness knows what's going on with the light. It could be just that it's very dark outside today. It's not a nice day. So I hope it's just that. Hopefully you'll be able to see them better in the pictures that I'll show you that are going to be in the blog, which will be published later today when I have taken the pictures of these cards and put them in. And I hope that I will see you again very soon. And I will be back next Tuesday at 2 o'clock on YouTube and Facebook. And as I said, the video and some of the measurements and instructions are in the blog if you want to go and have a look at that. Thanks for joining me today, and I will say goodbye for now. Let me just bring myself back up so I can see you. If there is anything I can help you with in the crafty world, then please let me know. And do sign up to my emails, and then you'll know when my lives are, when my free Craftalong is. Next week on Thursday, I am doing a free Craftalong with Zoom, and we're going to make an easy fun fold card, and all of the list of supplies that you need will be in this weekend's email. So do sign up before then so that you get that email and know what to bring with you on the Zoom call next week. And the Zoom link will also be in the email. So worth signing up to my emails, and you get some free gifts when you do anyway as well. Please do ask if there's anything I can help you with. And thank you very much for joining me today. Bye for now.